you got LeBron. It's going to be very hard for his kids because they're not going to look at him as LeBron's kids. They're going to be like, you better be just like your dad. And then after a while, that pressure starts sitting on you because it's like, wow, why I got to be like him? Why can't it just be me? And then they be like, oh, you're soft. You're not that good. Because the expectation is very, very high.
All right, needless to say, LeBron pretty upset, telling LeVar, quote, keep my kid's name out your mouth. Keep my family out your mouth. This is dad to dad. It's a problem now. Colin, did LeVar Ball cross the line mentioning LeBron's kids?
LeBron's kids are already famous. One's got a scholarship offer from Kentucky. They've got huge Instagram accounts. Listen, when you're the world's best blank basketball player, and you got kids and you got social media, this is the reality. In a few years, they're going to be playing for John Calipari, getting ripped by everybody. Like, I know there's a rule, don't talk about my kids, but when you're world famous and you have social media accounts, your kids are out there, your kids are talking. I could literally today tweet Jay-Z. The gap is closed between, when I was a kid, it was like Johnny Carson, public. The gap now is like I could tweet Jay-Z in 1 minute. So the gap is closed, and it's all part of this big social media circus.
Listen, I'm at a 72. I was at a 72% approval rating on LeBron. He just lost another couple of points here, Richard. He's down to 70% approval. Seriously. This is how I feel, because I'm mostly approval of LeBron, but he keeps doing things to nick away at this. When you talk about the Instagram accounts, it's LeBron's Instagram account. He's put his kids out there, the videos of them playing basketball. When you actually listen to what LeVar Ball said,
nothing.
Your kids are going to have great expectations put on them because they're LeBron James's kids. That's just factual.
By the way, that's probably been a topic on radio shows in the country. What would it? I remember talking about Michael Jordan's kids.
But why is LeBron wrong for telling this guy to stop talking about his kids and talking about his parenting skills?
Because LeVar,
but LeVar Ball is doing the exact same thing, telling everyone that I raised my kids to handle this pressure. Because everyone talks about he's putting so much pressure on his kids to perform, and he's saying my kids have always handled it. They will always be able to handle it because I raised them that way. He's basically just sat there and said LeBron kids won't be able to handle the pressure or the expectations because he can't do the same job that I do. That's why I don't have a problem with LeBron saying, just leave my kids alone because you're calling the man out. That's exactly what he said.
In fairness
Keep
to
the name out my mouth.
In fairness to LeBron, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think it's very possible he didn't see or hear the whole quote.
That happens a lot.
He may have heard kids before that. LeVar Ball said that all these NBA legends, all their sons are whack. Somebody may have told LeBron, LeVar said your sons are whack, or your kid's gonna have a tougher time making the NBA than his kids. You know, so
would that have made it better?
No, but I'm saying that made it come off worse to LeBron. Because as you said, all he's saying is they're going to have some pressure on them because they're LeBron's kids, which LeBron has to know that.
But why is it okay for LeVar to say that my kids can handle the pressure? No, yes, I'm going with my brand. I want $1 billion contract. I want all of these things. My kids can handle that pressure that I'm putting on them. But LeBron, yours can't.
I'm with you. I have no problem with LeBron saying this. As a parent, I don't want anybody that doesn't know my kids or me talking about them like they know them, unless you're praising them. Seriously.
Listen, if you're trying to de-escalate the situation, though, because we all know the vernacular. That's why I said keep a name out your mouth. He didn't say mouth. He said M-O-U-F. Those are kind of fighting words. Those are agitating.
What's going to happen?
I'm not saying that, but he's escalating the situation other than what LeBron could have said was, hey, man, LeVar, I understand your passion for your kids, but I would prefer that you not bring my kids into a conversation about
And I would be much more comfortable with that.
Yes.
I mean, I got kids, but LeBron's kids, he's making them famous.
Yeah.
They're all over it. LeBron's probably got 25 million Instagram followers. His kids are on Instagram constantly.
Have they not been in commercials with him as well?
Why do I know what they look like? What do they sound like?
They have.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're throwing them out there and then somebody comments on it. I mean, let's be honest.
This would be like Kris Jenner complaining that her daughters are getting talked about.
No, it's not the same.
He's got 20.
I'm with LeBron. Like, the way he talked about him was kind of in the negative. You know, and the ironic thing is, like you said, he's putting more pressure on his kids than LeBron is.
That's why I don't have a problem. That's why I think where LaVar Ball crossed over. When he's basically saying, I can teach my kids how to handle it and you can't. That's what that comment.
I don't think
that's how that comment
LeBron
reads
read
to
it
me.
that deeply.
I think you make a good point. This happens a lot. You know, Rush Limbaugh always talks about the drive-by media. They don't listen to his show. They get a line. It's like this is one of those drive-by moments where LeBron probably just heard from a friend of a friend of a friend, and he did confuse your comments with LaVar Ball to this other thing said about Magic's kid and Kobe's kid.
Exactly. Look, Shaq, there was a meme that said Magic, Kareem, Shaq, all their kids are whack. Shaq called me and said, did he say this? LaVar Ball, did he say this? And I said, well, let me go back and listen to the podcast. I listened to the quote, sent it to Shaq. He didn't say that about Shaq's kids, but the meme made it look like he did, and Shaq was upset. He was as upset as LeBron. He said, you can talk about me, but don't bring my kids up.
Here's where
so
I
that's
agree.
why I think
Where I really agree. LaVar Ball is doing too much. I mean, he's just talking too much.